Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload is actually getting recorded in the evening prior of the day of the upload. This will be released on Monday in the afternoon, or Monday midday, I guess. It will be about the potential for a storm, relatively small storm, but it could affect parts of the southern U.S. and the coastal areas of the East Coast. So I know that the United States East Coast has not seen too much snow. That coastal areas, inland areas have seen quite a bit, especially across the Northeast. But this snow could be affecting areas like Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, parts of northern Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia. So that's also very interesting. So stay tuned to see all of that. This will be happening relatively in a short term on Wednesday or Thursday of this week. So, consider subscribing if you like this channel. Consider liking this video. It really means a lot to me, and I'd really appreciate that. So, thank you for doing that. So now let's look at the GFS, which all of the models are actually showing this, which is why I decided to make this video. As if there was more uncertainty with this, especially given that this could be occurring in the South, I don't want to cause panic or any confusion, but there is, there really is no cause for panic, even when the models are agreeing. This doesn't seem to be a monster, but it's a relatively unique setup. So I haven't seen one like this in a while. I think the last time I recall something like this was Winter Storm Benji. I think that's what it was called. It was the one in the South. This one obviously will be much weaker, but still could leave a hefty amount of snow. So let's look at these. So we have the big storm to the north, a large storm system delivering snow and rain per usual. Then we see a cold front dragging behind the storm, and this front at the beginning you could see was kind of, I guess, the second piece of the storm over here. So the storm originated over here, out of the Rockies of Colorado low, and it left a little bit of moisture behind here. Then it sweeps its way over here, intensifies, and it's kind of drags a cold front along the southern and eastern U.S. This kind of attracts this moisture, and watch what happens. So we put this into motion. Let's go to hour 12 and slowly put this. You can see it's slowly intensifying. We are the storm 989, and then we see this moisture starting to get dragged up, and this moisture turns into a nice snow event across Tuesday across these locations, and Wednesday notice Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, extreme portions of southern Ohio. This snow would be moderate to heavy, and this would be actually occurring midday, so the snowfall accumulations may be a little bit less, but the models have been vigorous with these amounts. The snow would be heavy, it would be a heavy burst, but then notice it takes quite a while. I could say right there in Nashville or Memphis. I always forget. I think it's Memphis on this side. You could be under snow for a good 12 hours, so that could lead to several inches. And it moves up into the East Coast. If you live in New York City, you're under snow midnight Tuesday, and then you still are in the morning, which it could then convert a little bit to rain and snow. But this is all allowed because of this very cold Arctic air mass. This Arctic air mass is basically just driving very cold air. This won't make it too far to the south, but it does make it far south enough to override this precip and turn a lot of these locations into some snow. So these locations could pick up to half a foot of snow in localized areas. I know it seems a little bit obscure that I'm saying that, but I'll show you the snowfall amounts. Let's look at the total snowfall accumulations from this. And again, look at that. Anywhere you see in the purple, that is above, mainly that is above 4 inches. And you can see a good area of the real estate over there is covered in that. So let's just go to eastern U.S. and notice that anywhere you see those pink dots, that's over 6 inches. Couple in the mountainous areas, I think it'll be plenty of that. But notice even across Tennessee, portions of northern this is Mississippi, Alabama, maybe even seeing 2 to 3 inches. That's impressive. The coastal New York City, seeing maybe 1 to 3. Same with Boston and Hartford and Providence, Rhode Island, seeing a good 1 to 3 inches. It'll be quick, but some models are showing a little bit more. You'll notice that this one is showing possibly up to half a foot across Arkansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky, and widespread up to 5 inches across New York City. This will be very localized in a term that it's gonna set up really quickly, but usually these events are not are underestimated. That's all I'm saying. These events have happened in the past where the models underestimate the capabilities of these things. if you get a good dose of precip, which this precip will be basically fueled by the Gulf of Mexico moisture, and you have the cold air overriding it, which we do in this case, these amounts could really, really quickly pile up. I mean, within a few hours, 6 hours, you could get 6 inches if the snow is falling an inch per hour, which in this case, looking at the thermal profiles and looking at the precipitation rate, we could definitely see up to 6 inches across some of these locations. So, I think it's not going to be an extreme south, central Alabama, but like skimming the southern portions. I mean, if you live in northern Mississippi, would you say you're in the south? Yeah, you're in the south, and you can see you see a little bit of snow. You're on the northern tip of the south, but you're definitely there. So let's look at. I'll show you the European in just a bit. Let's look at the NAM 12km. This is another model. Notice it has a little bit further south, a little bit more widespread. Locally 3 to 6 inches widespread, and it kind of intensifies it across the coastal areas in New York City. So if you live in New York City, Hartford, Connecticut, Boston, you could definitely see some of these, this snow definitely pile up in your location. Notice that. Let's take this back, and let's take the NAM that I'm showing you right now is a more high resolution model, so it handles things a little bit better. But sometimes it tends to have a cold bias. But in this case, it's not just the NAM that's showing this, it's the other models. I would be concerned if it was just the NAM model showing it, but it's the other models, and it's not even the one that shows the heaviest amounts. If you notice, it actually originates the snow across Arkansas, Tennessee. It shows a little bit under, kind of underperforming, underimpressive, but that's what the NAM kind of tends to do, anything past really 40 hours. But you can see it almost develops it into a nice coastal system across the Northeast, Boston, Hartford, across Wednesday. So that could be interesting to see how much snow will fall out of that. So let's look at another NAM variation, the NAM 3km. This one's a little even more high resolution, and again, it's agreeing with the longer range models like the GFS and the Canadian. Notice quite a bit of rain with this first system. It drags a lot of this precip from the south, kind of starts forming this frontal boundary. You can see some of these lines starting to form. Let's wait for this to load, and we zoom through this and notice how the snow starts setting up. And again, look at those colors. That's some pretty intense rates. That's 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour. If you get a couple of hours of that, it could definitely increase the snowfall amounts. So that is that also delivers quite a bit of snow. The NAM 3km. You could see this one a little bit less, but more widespread 1 to 3, and intensifying across the Northeast. If we look across, I don't know if the HER model, the HER model doesn't go out that far. I'm pretty sure we could use one of these WRF models, as in the long range. It might just be barely reaching this range at 48 hours. You could see it's definitely showing it, so that's interesting how it's showing that snow, but it's not in the full extent. You can see right there still showing snow across Tennessee, Alabama. So if this could definitely be a big thing, but like it's hard to see. It's kind of hard to tell where exactly this will set up. I mean, this could be like a 50 to 100 mile corridor of snow, but we'll have to just watch this carefully and see. I mean, if you don't see snow out of this, but you may be pretty close to it, and you might not even know, as this will be pretty localized. It doesn't seem like there will be large amounts of less than 1 inch. It will rather be like nothing, basically, or up to half a foot, not a foot, half a foot. So that is that. Let's quickly look at the windy.com. And let's see this. So you can see the European puts out a good chunk as well. So anywhere you see in that green, I think that's above 3-4 inches of snow. You can see that, widespread. This is a European, mind you, so this is usually a more conservative one. You can see it starts snow all the way back in Texas, goes through Little Rock, Arkansas. If you live in Memphis, Tennessee, expect 1 to 2 inches. Even Huntsville, Alabama, you can see an inch. Nashville getting towards the higher amounts now, 2 to 3 inches. Knoxville, the Appalachian, I think this is a little bit underdone. You can see higher amounts, 3 to 4 inches. You can see now we're getting towards the 4 inches, 5 inches, and it really kind of cranks things up across Virginia, 4 or 5 inches. Really the northern portions of Virginia, but all the way down to, Roanoke could be seeing 2 to 3 inches, New York City around 3 inches, and then Boston. So if you live, southern Jersey, in this location, you'll see 3 inches. So this is a good event. I mean, it's better than nothing. I know that many have been complaining that they haven't been seeing snow. Well, this is your one of your first chances. Obviously, you won't be your only one, but it only goes to show you that we may be seeing more of these kind of hidden opportunities throughout the winter, despite the long range models possibly not showing that. But there's no winter weather advisories up yet, but I'm pretty sure that will change soon. So let's look at the National Weather Service map. Let's go to a area like Memphis, Tennessee. Earlier I checked and they weren't showing this at all, the snow in the forecast. So let's see if they switch this. They might, yeah, see they're already showing mixed wintry precipitation. Accumulation potential is undetermined at this time. Again, because I completely understand them, there is, seriously a potential for up to 6 inches and a potential up to 0 inches. These things could either underperform or outperform. I remember that we had a storm in April of this year across Chicago, and they were forecasting 1 to 3 inches, but it quickly outperformed as it was invigorated with precip and with moisture, and it dropped 6-7 inches. So that could happen, or it could underperform. The odds are it will outperform, as there'll be quite a bit of precip and cold air with that. If you go to say places like Jersey, let's just go to Trenton. I think they're calling for a general 1 to 2 inches. You could see, okay, so they're not calling for much here, but that could definitely still change. Let's go to New York City. I know that I just checked in New York City and they're calling for 1 to 2, yeah, 1 to 2 inches Wednesday. And these things could definitely, it's not a huge storm, obviously. There won't be any winter storm warnings, but I think some winter weather advisories will be possible. This location has a special weather statement, so you could see a few hours of light snow. I don't know, that is, yeah, for Tuesday morning, so this will be like the beginning wave of it. Let's see how much snow they're calling for these locations. Well, not much for this location, but let's see where this would be. Sweetwater, so that is Midland, Sterling, okay, Albany. Well, it would be right around here. So let's just check this location. We're not even showing really light snow, but you get the point that this could be a lot of uncertainty. That's why I'm making a video about it, because just in case this outperforms, I want to warn people that this definitely has the potential to outperform. Let's look at southern Kentucky. Let's see right there. I'm pretty sure they definitely have this in the East Kentucky weather outlook. And let's check this out. You can see rain expected, possibly mixing with or changing to snow in the afternoon. So that's definitely a possibility. So thank you guys so much for watching. Consider liking the video. Consider subscribing to the channel. Catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.